Hello again, everyone. I am Aishwarya, and today, as I said, we will speak about Scopus and Scopus AI. Now, I will not waste a lot of time in Scopus going through the slides, and I'll give it a very less time, and then we will go into the live demo. I know a lot of you might have already attended most of my workshops, so you know about Elsevier, you know about Scopus, but historically we have started with Elsevier, so let's go ahead with it. Now, Elsevier, if you see, it started as a publication house, but with all the big data sciences coming in, we realize we need to upgrade ourselves, right? We need to evolve, otherwise we will become obsolete. So we transformed into a global research analytics company that specializes into science, tech, and medical. As a global leader in information analytics, Elsevier has helped researchers and healthcare professionals advance science and improve health outcomes for the benefit of society. Now, at Elsevier, we have been associated with the global research community for more than 140 years. That's how long Elsevier has been in existence. And to give you a brief background, very recently we celebrated 120th anniversary of one of our journals called The Lancet. Now, if you know about Elsevier, you might have heard about Science Direct, Scopus, Scivel, Mendeley. So please know that these are all the products that we provide under the umbrella of Elsevier. You already have subscription to Science Direct, and some of you have subscription to Scopus, and I think with God's grace, you will also get a subscription to Scivel shortly. But today, the presentation will be more around Scopus. Now, if you see, you all work in a research workflow, okay? And research workflow is not an easy thing. It's complicated. You can see it on your screens. But we can simplify this by dividing this into two parts. First is the research preparation part, and then comes the execution part. While you're preparing for your research, you look for funding, you look for right collaborators, you want to manage your research data. And then comes a part where you start actually executing your research. You start with your manuscript preparation. You make sure you have all the technical writing skills that are required to write your research. And then comes the publication process, where I think the most important step is to find the right journal. Why do I say so? So let's say you wrote an amazing paper, okay? But the choice of journal was not right. So what will happen? Desk rejection. And desk rejection, it really hurts because all the time, energy that you have put in writing that paper, submitting that paper, it goes down the drain. So it is very important that we are very cautious while choosing the right journal. And today, with Scopus, we will learn how we can use bases like Scopus to find journals in which we should be publishing our work. And let's say you found the right journal, you publish your peer review is done, your work is published. Even then, I think for a researcher, the work does not stop there. You still have to measure the kind of impact your research has made. You have to make sure that your work is visible to the right audience. Why? Because it is the audience that is going to acknowledge your work. Citations, H indexes, metrics come later, right? Because we want to reach out to the community, right? As a researcher, you want to reach out to the community and you can help, as I said, for better human outcomes, right? And to support the research community, Elsevier has provided tools that can help researchers at a different stages in a research workflow. For example, if you're applying for grants, then Scopus and Scivel are a very important tool. While writing your research, Mendeley is a free, let me repeat, it's a free bibliographic and reference manager. And then if you want to manage your career better, if you want to manage your network better, then again, Scopus and Mendeley are your go-to tools. Because we at Elsevier believe that researcher centricity is the key concept behind our activities, any events that we do, or any products that we develop. Now, I would say everything that we do, it revolves around the researcher needs, right? What is that the researcher require today? And if you see in the last 1 decade, researcher needs have changed drastically. Why? Because you have to do a lot. You have to stay up to date, you have to evaluate and read papers, you have to manage your research data, you have to secure funding, you have to find right collaborators, right? And it's a lot of work. But I think in all this, there are certain things which remains to be of the most importance for researcher. One of them is finding relevant content which is published in relevant or high impact journals, right? Second is finding these journals in which you can publish. But I think with the development we are having over the last couple of years, the life of researchers have not been made easy. Why? Because researchers today are faced with ever-growing volumes of information you need to search, evaluate, and incorporate in your work. And it is hard keeping up with the scientific literature that has been growing day by day. Let me give you a number. Right now, there are more than 7,000 scientific publishers out there. 40 lakh papers are published every year that are contributed by 30 lakh unique authors. So, how do you cope up with this huge burst of information? How do you cope up with the information is the biggest challenge in today's researcher world. And a simple way of doing it is by having certain trusted platforms where you can go search with the peace of mind by putting certain keywords. Platforms like Scopus and Scopus AI, which are built on trust and scientific information. Why do I keep saying scientific information? Because I know there are a lot of tools that researchers are using today, AI tools, which are not built for researchers. Right? So we realize that no matter what we are going to do, researchers are going to use AI tools. So rather than stopping them, we should be enabling them. Hence came in Scopus AI. Now, before we go into Scopus, it is important that we understand certain research matrices because these are part of Scopus, and to understand Scopus better, you need to know these matrices. First is the journal level matrix, the journal impact factor. It is the oldest and I would say most used matrix right now. You can see the formula, it says it's further normalized. But we do not know what is the formula used for further normalization. Now, there are, I would say, a lot of shortcomings to this. Why? Because all journals do not have journal impact factor. In fact, conference proceedings are not considered for impact factor. And impact factor is biased towards certain subjects. Why? You will see a lot of journals in medicine who will have an impact factor of 30, 40, 50, or even higher. But you will come across very few such journals in social sciences. Why? Because I would say medicine as a subject area tends to get higher volume of citations, innovations, and hence a higher impact factor. So what do? You consider other matrices. The first alternate matrix, it used to be called alternate matrix, but no longer called alternate matrix because now these have become some important matrices. First is site score. Site score is based upon the principle of three C's. First, it is comprehensive because it's based upon Scopus. It is clear. You can see the formula on your screen. You can calculate it yourself. Then it is current. Site score tracker is updated on a monthly basis. So if you want to see the current impact site score of a journal, you'll be able to see it. And you can compare how it's doing month on month. There are 13,000 titles which have site score, still no impact factor. So you know what you can miss out on. Then the next matrix is SNIP, Source Normalized Impact per Paper. What SNIP does, it normalizes the subject area. So now you can compare a medicine journal with a mathematics journal. But this is, I would say, more relevant in cases of journal which is publishing multidisciplinary content. The next is SJR, that is Scimago Journal Rank. Now, unlike the last three, which are highly dependent on the number of citations, SJR not only considers the number of citation, but also the prestige or the source of citation. Where is the citation coming from? So a citation from a top author or a citation from a patent, or let's say a citation from a researcher sitting in Harvard or Massachusetts will have much more weightage. Now, as a researcher, you should be following these two golden rules by using any metrics. One, always use both qualitative and quantitative input in your decision making. What are qualitative? SJR. What are quantitative? Site score, impact factor, SNIP. Right. This approach is about benefiting from the strengths of both the matrices, not about replacing one with another. And when you combine both the approaches, both kind of matrices, it will get you closer to the whole story. And the second golden rule is always use more than one research matrix as a quantitative input. Right? So if you're using only site score, no, combine it with either impact factor or SNIP, depending on what is your end in mind. What is that you want to achieve? Then the next matrix is the author level matrix, H-index. The H-index is the numerical indicator of how productive and influential a researcher is. It was developed back in 2005. Now, H-index is available both on Scopus and on Google Scholar. Right. So, I have taken examples and I have taken screenshot both from Scopus and from Google Scholar. Now, if you see the author's H-index from Google Scholar is 155, while from Scopus is 133. Why is that? Because Google Scholars cover not only journals but academia website, grey literature, preprint thesis. It also includes books from Google Book Projects. So result often contain duplicates, hence inflated H-index. So what do you do as an author? Which one do you consider? It depends on you. Let's say you're going for an interview and the interviewer wants to know your H-index from Google Scholar, so you showcase that. If they want to know your H-index from Scopus, you showcase that. Having said that, please be aware that all the world's best ranking agencies like TKG, Shanghai, QS ranking, they are dependent 100% on Scopus data. And if let's say you want to do any kind of international collaboration, so 9 out of 10 times, the person will go to your Scopus author profile. So it depends on you how you want to be perceived internationally. The next is ORC-ID. ORC-ID is an extension of the author matrix. It's called the Open Researcher and Contributor ID. Now, what ORC-ID does, it uniquely identifies a scientific and academic contributor or author. So it is integrated with Scopus, it is free of cost, and it makes sure that your work is indexed to you only. Okay? Because let's accept that there might be multiple authors by the same first name and last name. And it might lead to confusion, it might lead to wrong indexing. So if you have a Scopus author profile, please make sure that you have a ORC-ID. The last matrix is the FWCI, Field Weighted Citation Impact. This scores also come from Scopus databases and shows how the article citation count compares to similar articles in the same field and time frame. Now, what it is doing, FWCI is basically comparing citations, comparing articles on the basis of the citations they have received. One is taken as world average. Anything above one is above world average. Anything below one is below world average. Now, an FWCI of 2 will indicate the person has received twice the number of citations as compared to the average article in that field has received. Okay. And the last one is the Plumex matrix. Now, you'll all agree with me when I say that social media has a huge impact in our lives today. Right. Plumex matrix takes everything in consideration. The downloads, the bookmarks, the capture, the social media presence, the news mentions, and tell how well a paper is going to perform in future. Okay. Now, moving on, I think as a researcher, you have to face a lot of challenges. Okay. Starting with, just a second. Yeah. Starting with your research strategies. Okay. what is already there in your research field. What are the novel themes? What are the consistent themes? Right? Then who can be my collaborators? Who are the experts in my field? Then how I think the biggest challenges researchers are receiving today is how do I find uh, agencies who can give me grants? And then how do I conduct my research? And then how do I even measure the impact? And if there is one solution that can answer all of these questions, it's Scopus. How? Like in research strategy, by finding what already exists in terms of research in your field. That homework will help you to strategize your work better. The right collaborator might be sitting right next to you, but you do not know that. So, Scopus will help you to understand where, with whom to partner and collaborate. And next very critical stage is research funding, where Scopus will help you to find topic-specific funding organization. Decide what, where, with whom to partner and to collaborate with. And then move on to conducting research, under which Scopus will help you to have trend analysis, what kind of research is going on in your area. That will help you to manage your work and lead you to the final stage of is analysis of the impact, where various matrices can help researcher track their research performance through citation count, H-index, make a picture clear which journal to read and which journal to publish in. So what is Scopus? Scopus is the world's largest abstract and citation database. It has more than 7,000 publishers, 91 million items, 94,000 affiliation profiles. With the help of Scopus, you'll be able to quickly find relevant and trusted research, identify experts, and access reliable data matrices analytical tool to support confident decisions around research strategy. Now, Scopus is only an abstract and citation database. You will not get full content in it. For that, you would need access to that particular publisher. Let's say you are reading the abstract of a particular paper and you want to read the entire paper. You would need subscription to that publisher. For example, it is from Springer, so it's Springer Nature. If it's from Elsevier, then Science Direct. But in Scopus, you will only be able to find the abstract and citation information. Scopus has content from journal, conferences, books, and patents. Now, Scopus is a very dynamic platform. Why do I say so? 13,000 new articles are indexed in Scopus every year. It has 20 million open access documents. Right? And please be mindful, if you are searching in Scopus, you are searching in the global representation of research. Why? Because Scopus has content from 105 countries. Now, there is a lot of misinformation around Scopus author profile. So let me clear this out. You cannot make your author profiles in Scopus. Your author profiles are automatically made when you publish with a Scopus index journal. Now, who decides what goes into Scopus, what is taken out from Scopus? We do not decide that. There is an independent committee called the Content Selection and Advisory Board, the CCAB. There are 17 subject matter experts who sits twice a year and they decide what goes into Scopus and what is taken out from Scopus. Okay. Now, coming to the second important thing, Scopus AI. This is something brand new. AI enhanced academic research tool that helps researcher navigate unfamiliar academic field, accelerate content discovery, and support greater multidisciplinary collaboration. Scopus AI leverages our high quality curated link content to provide users with a comprehensive and intuitive tool to quickly understand new fields, paving the way for the next generation of AI research. Establishing a rapid understanding of complex, swiftly evolving research topic without the aid of specialist knowledge. This can help researchers to extend your boundaries to work and develop new insight. And we believe that early career researcher will especially benefit from this tool. And I would say by bringing together advanced AI models and comprehensive Scopus database, which include trusted and vetted content from more than 27,000 peer-reviewed journal and 7,000 publisher, we aim to set the industry standard for AI-enhanced academic search tools. Now, we want to start with the big picture. As we speak a lot of researcher and know that the challenges they face on a daily basis. One of the biggest things we hear a lot is getting up to speed on a new academic tool or research area is really hard. And there is not a lot of information about my field. Where do I even start? Which keywords should I use? Then you get a long list of literature that you need to navigate, somehow apply on your own research to understand. I'm not even saying to start the research, to understand the field. And there is information overload. And limited search tools that we have aren't good enough. Even if you understand one domain, the silos around the discipline can make collaboration difficult. And this all results in suboptimal productivity and missed opportunities, which limits the societal and academic impact of your work. And that's the problem we are here to solve. Scopus AI was developed in response to the need identified by 60% of Scopus users, learning about new topics effectively. So, introducing to you all Scopus AI. This is our new search tool powered by generative AI. And now that you have access to Scopus AI, I absolutely want you to stop using ChatGPT, Perpetuity, or any kind of open AI tools. This is powered by Gen AI that takes peer-reviewed research and gives you overview of a new topic. Scopus AI draws exclusively on metadata and abstracts of documents published since 2030 with the vector search. Identify the most relevant content from 7,000 publishers that are featured in Scopus. This knowledge base is updated on a daily basis to ensure the response you receive is always based upon the most recent and trusted information. Unlike most of the AI tools, which are like a black box, Scopus AI will be backed by research. We have been working with research community to refine and upgrade this tool. So now I will just stop sharing and we will go into the live demo. Shobit, I'm thinking that we should start with Scopus AI because I think we have a lot of times done Scopus. And I think,
Yeah, that sounds perfect to me.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we can quickly show them how Scopus AI works. And I mean, or what we can do is a similar query which we put in Scopus in quickly in 2 minutes, we can show how much time it takes. And at the end of the query which we run manually on Scopus, there may be thousands of documents that we have to manually read and then compare it with Scopus. It's up to you. I mean, it's
Oh, no,
open.
that's a very good idea. But you know what? I would need help of the attendees today we have. Okay, I want all of you to put in any keyword, any question that you have around your research. And I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to tell you, show you how it's gonna done. You can put that in the chat box, please.
Oh, I can see there are so many questions already. Few of them are there.
Okay.
The everyone is liking the session. I know how good sessions actually you conduct.
So
Okay, somebody has just put in AI and media.
I'm sorry. I took green accounting practices. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
I'm not sharing my screen. I just realized. So, okay. Now this is the Scopus homepage. Once you log into Scopus, you all will be able to see this. Okay. Uh, you can search using document, authors, research discovery, organization, and this is the Scopus AI. Now we will start with a normal document search where here I put green accounting practices and I search. Now I have 818 documents which I need to search, go through to understand this particular green accounting practices. But let's go back. Let's go to Scopus AI. And here I tell, can you tell me more about? So now the co-pilot is taking its time. See, I have not signed in, but I would request all of you to sign in, because once you sign in, I will have the history of what I have searched in the past. Now, within 5 seconds, Scopus AI has made this beautiful summary for me, in which it is telling me what is green accounting. It is telling me the key components and practices. It is telling me the benefit of green accounting. And let's take a moment and see that this summary that it has provided me, it is not something it has generated on its own. It is backed by research. You can see exactly the references from where it has picked the summary. You can see the abstract of this paper. You can, if you have access to these documents, to these publisher, you can read the entire, you can open the document and you can read it, right? So now it is not like a black box. You can see all the references from which it has made out this particular summary, right? It has given me a conclusion. You can rate it. If you can copy this, you can rate this. If you don't like it, you can let us know. And then I have options to expand this theory as well. So if I clicked on expand theory for me, expand summary for me, now it has given me a more detailed summary with more references, right? Now you can click if you want to see these 9 papers, because remember we had 818 papers which we had to search from Scopus. But now I can just go through these 9 papers. Then I have more options. I can go further deeper. I ask a follow-up question, but also I can ask Scopus AI to draw me a concept map. And within a second, it has drawn me a beautiful concept map. I can download this, right? What else can we do? I can find topic experts. So if I click on topic experts, I have topic experts. How do they find topic expert? They see how many matching documents are there. You can see the document which are matching. You can see the citation. You can see the H index of the author, right? And let's say if you want to see the profile of the author, you can click on author profile. You can click on view full author profile, and you can see this, right? Now, there is one more interesting thing that Scopus AI can do, which is if I click here on emerging themes, it has now provided me with the themes under this particular topic. This is a consistent theme. Green supply chain management and environmental performance is a consistent theme. This green finance and greenwashing, this is a rising theme. So maybe this is something I can work upon, right? Again, I have a rising theme. And if you have any kind of novel theme, which the AI is able to find, you can find it here as well. Okay. Then again, I can ask a follow-up question. It is giving me more questions that I can go further deeper in. So this is how easy it is to use Scopus AI. And you know, the great thing is you can go and in the layman's language, you can type anything. In a layman's language, you can ask for anything. I'm sorry. Now we will go back to Scopus and Shobit, are there any specific questions that we have?
Actually, I'm going through, I mean, everyone has given their field of expertise in which they are
I'm
researching
sure.
or they are working on. So, I mean, Aishwarya has shown a very good demo. And similarly, I mean, this was an example for one particular field of study. And similarly, Scopus AI can help. It can help in time consuming. And I mean, you can change your search queries, the detailing about the query, the more refined you can write the details in Scopus AI, you can put it over there and you will get the results. Uh, so I'm just reading out questions also. Uh,
So, Shobit, while you're doing it, you can select questions, and what I'll do is I'll go back to the live demo, and we will see certain. There were certain questions I could quickly see around Scopus as well. So Scopus AI is a very simpler tool. Okay. Now, what we can do with Scopus? Now, I have put green accounting practices and I search this particular keyword. Okay. Now I have 818 documents in this. What all I can do with this? I can click here on all and I can click on export. So if I want to download this entire file, I can download it via CSV. Okay. Please know there is a limitation of the documents that you can export, which is right now to 10,000. You can, if you have Cyvel, you can export these documents to Cyvel, or if you're using any of these reference manager, you can export this to reference manager. Then you can see the citation overview of these documents, okay? Or you can analyze this in much depth. So if I click on analyze search result, within seconds, Scopus has given me a bird eye view of this particular topic. So when was the first paper published? How many papers were getting published year on year? And you can see it here as well. And this is all hyperlinked. So if you want to see what are the papers published in green accounting in 2025, you can click here. Then you can see the source, which are the journal which is publishing the most number of papers in green accounting practices. So this could be the journals of your choice as well, because it is publishing the maximum content from these particular keywords. Okay. Then you can see who are the top authors in this particular field, right? This can help you to reach out to these authors, collaborate with these authors, okay? Then you can see who are the institute that are publishing the most. So if you see Chinese Academy of Sciences has the most number of papers, and you even if you see that this is a very niche field, Scopus AI was able to develop a beautiful summary for you, right? Which saves a lot of time. And then we can see which are the top countries which are publishing the most under this particular keyword. So you can see it all here. So I can see there are 16 papers from Pakistan in this particular keyword. So you can open those particular nation as well. Then I can see the funding sponsors under this particular topic, which is the granting agencies which has provided maximum number of funds. So National Natural Science Foundation of China has provided grants to 39 papers, followed by the European Commission. And you know what? You can see which are these papers, who are these authors, and you can reach out to them to ask how even you can get grants. So this is how you can get topic-specific funding organizations, right? What you can also do is you can add search field here. So there is a Boolean operator which says and or and not. So let's say I put here affiliation country and I put here,
Aishwarya, just didn't want to break your flow. Sorry.
please.
Hustan sir is waiting. If you can resend him to join as a presenter, so he will also join. He would like to join. He's saying.
Oh, okay. He's in the chat, in the,
Yes.
okay, I think I have sent him, I have promoted him again. I think he's online.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Thank you. Yeah, Aishwarya, please continue.
Okay, I'm so sorry, sir. I had no idea that you were waiting. Otherwise, I would have done it much before. Uh, so now I have got 16 papers which are doing research in green accounting practices from Pakistan. So what I can do again is I can click here on all and I can click here on analyze search results. So now Scopus is giving me a bird eye view of the research happening in this particular field in Pakistan. So you can see who are the top authors in Pakistan who have done search in this particular field. You can see which are the universities from which they have done it. Okay, I'll just open this. And you can find all the relevant information. For example, if there were any grants given, which they were, right? Then comes the Scopus affiliations. So here, You can type in any organization. You can type in, let's say I type in Aga Khan. Okay. So now these are the options I'm getting for Aga Khan University. But I want to see the one in Karachi. So I've clicked on that. Now I can see the university name. I can see the address. I can see the unique Scopus ID of Aga Khan University. I can see the documents that are published under Aga Khan, the authors that have published in from Aga Khan or in collaboration with Aga Khan. I can set up a document alert. So what will happen every time there is a new publication, Scopus Index publication, I get a email. I get an email. This is more relevant for the, I think, quality department, for the library department to see this. Then I can see what kind of publications are happening under different subject area. So Aga Khan is publishing the most under medicine, followed by biochemistry, social sciences, nursing. Then I can see the structure. So if there is a parent organization, which in this case there is, and these are the child organizations, right? Then I can see the collaborators for Aga Khan. So you can see the Hospital for Sick Children has collaborated with 826 papers. The Dow University of Health Sciences has collaborated with 703 papers. And the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine has collaborated with 577 papers. And I can open these. This is all hyperlink. This is something new, sustainable development goals. Now, you know that UN has provided us with 17 goals, right? And it is very important to measure the impact. And through these, we can see what kind of impact our university, our, I would say, alma mater has made. So if you see maximum of the publication, because you are publishing a lot into medicine, it is coming under goal 3, which is good health and well-being. Second number of most publications has come into gender equality, right? And you can open these papers, you can see these papers. I have, I think, opened one more institute. Now, this is another institute that I have opened, University of Lahore. You can do similar kind of search for University of Lahore as well, okay? Now, you go here, for example, University of Lahore has 12,000 papers. Now, this particular thing has opened. I had a question that how do we see the H index? So you click here on all and click here on citation overview. Now, please know there is a limitation of 10,000 documents. Okay. So let's say I type in top 10,000 documents for which I want to see the citation overview. You can always bifurcate it by year as well. So now I have toggled off. I want to see all 10,000 document. I can see the citation and I can see the H index of my institute. Okay, you can export this or you can see it in tabular form. So this is how you see the H index. Now, the other thing that you can do in Scopus is you can search with for authors, first name, last name, or org ID or keywords. Now, I would suggest if you're searching with first name, last name, please add affiliation because again, there can be multiple authors by the same first name, last name. Now, I have already have certain author profiles open. So now I can see this particular author is, I can see which university they are affiliated. I can see the country, this particular author, they are from Jordan, his unique Scopus profile and his org ID. I can see the documents he has published, the citation he has received, and his H index. Now, if I want to see more about a author, I click on Show All Information, and here I can see where he was affiliated with, what are his subject area in which he publishes. Then I can set up an alert. I would say that set up an alert for the authors you follow, whose work you admire, because every time there is a new document they have published, you'll get an email alert. Now here, under this, I can see a lot about an author. For example, I can see how many papers he has published, which of the paper has the highest number of citations. Okay. I can see his document and citation trend. Okay. I can analyze the author output. I can see how many papers he has published as a first author, as a last author, as a co-author, and a single author. And as a first author, the papers that he has published, what are the citation, what is the FWCI? Okay. Then I can see the impact. So how many papers he has published in different SDGs. I can see his international collaboration. I can see if the author has done any kind of academic and corporate collaborations. I can see his documents in top 25 most cited. How much percentage of documents are there in the top 25 most cited documents, which is 100% for this author. So that means he is a top author. Then documents in top 25 journals. So 15 of his documents are in top 25 journal. That is, top 25 is the Q1 journals. And then his documents and WCI. Okay. What else I can see? I can see his cited by papers. I can see if there are any preprints. What are preprints? Preprint are unpublished, non-peer-reviewed version of scholarly papers. I can see who his co-authors are. I can see the topics in which he publishes, right? And I can go back to documents and I click here on search result format. And this is how I can see now his documents, and I can again analyze this in more details. When did he publish his first paper? How many papers he is getting published year on year? I can see all of that. Now, I can see there are certain hands raised. Usnan sir, you have to say something.
Thank you so very much, Ash. There is a question in Q&A. Can you please address that? I had the same question.
Uh, mm, so, okay, can you please tell me what is the question? Because I think there are a lot of questions. And
It's from Aisha Ovais. It's for if my papers are not published in Scopus, can I still add them in my Scopus profile?
no, you cannot. So, I think you cannot make any kind of additions to your Scopus author profile till the paper is published in any Scopus index journal. Only those papers, once they are published, will automatically add. And if there are any corrections to be made, then you can make those corrections to your Scopus author profile. Okay. Now, I have a question, which is my question is if the Scopus discontinues a title from its coverage based upon significant factual error, how to get an appeal to correct the erroneous decision? What is the forum in Scopus to file an appeal? Now, you can go to the Scopus support. Okay, you can find in the Scopus support itself, you can find various options, the frequently asked questions, and you can write to them. But you can always reach out to, if let's say your university was publishing that journal, you were the editor of that journal, and the decision was wrong, you can always reach out to HAC, who can reach out to us, and we can have it investigated. How can I get the data for free? I think data, I'm not very sure, but you have access to Scopus and Scopus AI. And from there, you will have to do your research. You have to find relevant answers on your own.
Apologies, Ash. I believe we have many non-members who do not have purchased the subscription. So
Again, if you are a non-member, you will have to get in touch with your libraries and maybe they'll help you out. Next question that I have, what is the difference between Scopus AI and Science Direct? See, Science Direct is a full text platform. Okay. If you're searching in Science Direct, you will find the entire paper. Scopus AI is I would say, a discovery tool backed by AI, which can help you through your research journey. Please know you cannot use or write your paper with the help of Scopus AI because it will be plagiarized. Because whatever summaries or extended summaries that you're getting from Scopus AI, they are coming from already published papers abstract. Right. Do you need to pay any subscription fees to access Scopus AI? Yes, you do need to pay. It's a separate subscription. And again, you'll have to get in touch with either the Higher Education Forum or your library, and they can help you out to know if you already have an subscription or you can get one. Uh, you cannot incorporate, you can use the themes, okay? You can definitely use the themes, but you cannot incorporate the entire, as I said, summary in your research paper because it will come as plagiarized. The next question is very interesting. How do you save yourself from predatory journals and how to choose right domain and relevant papers? I would say no journal is born predatory. A lot of them turn predatory over a period of time. Let's say they were publishing good content and over the period of time, their quality degraded, they stopped getting papers. So they turn predatory. Now, you as an author, as a researcher, I think it's your also duty to identify these predatory journals. Okay. There are only two kinds of journal which will ask you for money. One is gold open access, second is predatory journal. If a journal is saying that they will publish your work within a week, 10 days, 15 days, please no. No one can do that. You go to the general website, you see there are certain things that you can use to identify that. For example, go to the journal website, see what all information you can find there. Go to the editorial board members, see who are the board members. If the information provided, let's say they have provided board information which you think is fishy, because a predatory or a fake journal will never provide you right information about editorial board member because they do not have editors board. Okay, so these are certain things that you can follow. And let's say if you have come across any predatory journal in Scopus, which might happen, you can always report them. And Scopus will investigate and they will take necessary decision. I often struggle in writing and formatting my literature review for papers. Sir, I would say you are not the only one. Please know that. But I think with the help of, I think these AI tools, okay, a lot of times I get questions that can I develop my manuscript from these AI tools? Please know, Elsevier as a publisher do not allow that. But you can always use AI services for enhancing your languages. Because we understand English might not be your first language. Okay. So you can do that with AI, but not ask it to write your paper. What should we do if we do not have direct access to Scopus, even through organization? You can raise a request to your library. You can raise a request to your higher education forum. I think they have been very considerate regarding researcher requests and demands. And that's why they have introduced certain new tools, which are still not subscribed by most of the institutes around the world, which you have access to. There's a lot of questions around recording. Yes, we will be sharing the recording as well. We will be sharing the slides as well. And I think all of you should go ahead and use the platform. Scopus AI is very interesting. And I think not just for researcher Husnain Saab, I think Scopus AI should be used by undergraduates, masters, everybody in the university if you have subscription to Scopus AI, because this is, even I use it for my day-to-day work because I know it is backed by research. And I think people can use it to understand their subjects, not just for their research. And that will help us to penetrate this further. So I cannot hear you. I'm so sorry. Shubhit, are you able to hear him?
No, Husnain sir, your voice is not audible.
Now, I'm using a hand, so
Now you're audible.
as there are more than 40 questions, I believe 47. Can you answer them in the limited time we have?
So I think a lot of questions is around subscription charges. Uh, from what I can see, Kavit, if you can, sorry, Shobit, if you can talk to them a little bit about subscription, how does it work? I can find more questions, which will be from my
So
domain.
yeah, I have also seen mostly questions are around subscription charges. So as Aishwarya mentioned earlier, they can reach out to their libraries, or they can connect if there is any mode of getting connected with HEC. They can directly connect with HEC Pakistan for their queries regarding to subscription charges. Rest most of the important questions. Aishwarya has already answered. I'll also quickly have a look at it, which is I mean there are some questions around the technology being used behind Scopus AI. So Aishwarya has already mentioned during the presentation it is Gen AI tool. Uh, we are working. So the base layer is OpenAI, and we have our R&D team who has got I mean, our infrastructure sits over OpenAI. So for the security reasons, we don't hand over our supercomputers or infrastructure to their team. It is only being used by our teams, our R&D system in US as well as in Europe. So it is secure. It is trustworthy when it comes to research ecosystem. That is why that is what I have to say about Scopus AI infrastructure and the technology used behind that. And some questions were around
There is a question that how many tokens or queries can we ask per day from AI?
that is unlimited, I guess. This was, I mean, you have to use it day in, day out. You have to be more creative with your queries. Uh, as Because of plagiarism, you can't just copy paste it and in your articles or in your research work. But yes, you can just modify the language, how you feel. You can change the references if you like a particular reference. If you follow a particular scientist or researcher, you can use those references. I mean, Scopus AI helps you. It gives you, it is time. Usually, the research which you do, it takes a lot of time, 1 month, 3 months, and so on. Scopus AI is very time effective. It saves lots and lots of your time, and the time which you save, you can use it in some productive work. Most of the researchers, they can use that time in productive findings, productive research work. So that is what I can say. Yeah, actually,
Okay, Shamit, I would like to add here about the subscription. Many participants here are from the universities or colleges. HEC provides a substantial subsidy to them if they subscribe to Scopus. HEC takes part in their subscription. If they are from public sector, HEC pays half of the license fee. If they are from private sector, HEC pays 25% of the license fee. So if any of the researcher in the meeting today, they want access to Scopus, they should reach out to their university administration and launch an official request to HEC, and we'll surely look into it. First, second is, I believe, Ash, have you gone through the questions?
Yes, I'm just going through certain questions. There is a question regarding there is a journal which is asking for a fees of 500 to 1000 US dollars and saying that they'll publish immediately. I would say do not trust any journal which says that. I would say go for yourself, download the entire source list from Scopus and check if the journal is even indexed. Otherwise, write to Scopus, okay? Take the journal details and write to Scopus support team and give the details and let Scopus do their investigation if it is part of Scopus or not. Now, there is another question that can we use Scopus AI for language editing services? No. There are certain different tools that are specifically made for language editing tools. Scopus AI is not that tool. Scopus AI is to expand your learning about any particular field. There's another question that will Scopus AI be caught in Turnitin? Please no. You cannot copy paste what Scopus AI summary has given you because it is already coming from published information. So if you put that in Turnitin, it will come as plagiarized. Again, I'm saying Scopus AI is a tool to expand your knowledge about a particular field, to expand your understanding about a field, to make research discovery easier for you, right? To bring down the time you use to find relevant journals to publish and to read in. So, to save that time, Scopus AI tool was given. You cannot use this tool to write your manuscript for language editing services, or you cannot copy paste the content you have find in Scopus AI. So please.
Um, I would like to add something here about the predatory part. That is, I've seen many questions here. There is a free platform called Think, Check, Submit. That is not of Elsevier. That's a free platform. If you go over there, they provide you a brief checklist on how to select a journal. What questions do you have to ask yourself before making a decision for publishing in any specific journals? Journals that are promising that you can publish in 1 day or a 2 day or even 15 days, they would take your money and run away. So please be vigilant when you perform this activity. Think, Check, and Submit is an excellent site. It's free, freely available. You can consult it before making any decision for publishing. It is the author's responsibility to cross-verify whatever the journal is claiming. So you have to understand the best practices in the field. Secondly, there is a question that cost to usage that Shobit has addressed, that if you have subscription, you have unlimited. There is no limit on usage. You have unlimited usage option. Okay, is there any YouTube tutorial on using the Scopus AI? Shobit, is it available?
So not a YouTube video. I think there are some marketing videos which are recently added to HighSpot. I'll just check with the marketing whether we can circulate it or not, or when they will be ready. I'll just check it with the marketing and come back to you.
Okay.
Okay, we will share this recording as well. And I think Scopus AI is a pretty simple tool, because you just have to, just like you must be doing with other AI tools, you just have to type your query in layman's language, nothing else, and it will generate summary for you, it will generate concept maps for you. I understand Scopus might be a little tricky, how to use Scopus. So what I will do is, in the post emailer, I will add certain online tutorials for Scopus that we have available, and if we have any kind of Scopus AI tutorials also available, we will add that in the post emailer.
That would be great. That would be great. I believe you have covered lots of questions, but still they are coming in. So there is a question. I'm unable to understand it. Ash, you'll have to help me here. Scopus Index Journal Q1 category ranking paper, in how many period it went away? Okay. It was something about Q1. I don't understand.
That's okay. So they can always write to me. You know, I am very much available on emails if they have any questions. And please know, this is the opening session for 2026. We will be doing sessions in a very, I would say, this year more frequently, because Husnain Saab has requested that, and we will be more than happy to collaborate on that. Even if there are shorter sessions in which we just go into the live demos for half an hour and then 15 minutes we do Q&A and we don't go through the slides, we will do that. And we are also coming with certain different sessions for this year, in which we will collaborate with the researchers, the authors from Pakistan, our STMJ teams, editors and publishers, where you can have more specific questions to your research. Right, we will do domain specific workshops as well. And if you have any specific feedback for what kind of workshops you would like to see, please write to us. We can explore those opportunities too.
Ash, there's a question from Mr. Shahzad Ashraf. He says, why don't Scoopers do not have any reviewer recognition system just like Web of Science has? And there should be a reviewer recognition matrix just like authors matrix, that is H-index, etc.
I think matrix, I agree, there can be, but how about the reward system? We had thought a lot about it, but as soon as a reward comes in, I think the process becomes biased. Right, because right now the reviewers review with without any self-interest, right? But if there is a reward element, let's say a reviewer is reviewing one document in a day. But if a reward is there, they might want to do more, right? And then the transparency of the entire publishing thing goes away. And then say, if we want to, I get a lot of questions around there should be some kind of monetary benefit for the reviewers as well, right? Let's say I have four reviewers for a paper, and let's say we give everybody $50 for reviewing one paper. So for four reviewers, it becomes $200. Now, who pays those $200? The author, right? So the APC charges increases. And then again, I think it becomes a little bit of a corrupt process, because once a monetary thing is attached to anything, I think people would want to do more. And that's why I think for the longest time, Elsevier is not doing any kind of reward for reviewers, because we want to keep this process very authentic. However, I think we can talk more about the matrices. I can take this feedback to my publishing team and hear from them what would be their thoughts on having a matrix for reviewer, because I think that is a very good idea.
Okay. Next is, how about skipping the important research not indexed in Scopus? That is by Hamza Farooq. I believe he is targeting towards the fact that Scopus AI builds the data from Scopus itself, so it could definitely miss something that is not available in Scopus. And as Ash and Shobit have already highlighted, this is a tool for your assistance. It is not your replacement. It is not a replacement for a human being. So you have to do the legwork as well. Do not just rely on the AI generated report. You have to innovate. You have to put in your thoughts as well. Okay. Next is, will Scopus add national or international research paper journals? I believe Scopus already has a very diverse, collection of journals from all across the world. So I would say that is addressed as well. I'm just going one by one so that we do not miss some. Okay. Okay.
I am, my apologies. I have another appointment. Shobit, we are
Okay.
here. If you have any other further questions,
Sure.
Shobit,
I just want to get through these questions so that our members do not feel that they have been
Yes.
neglected.
Hussain sir, I am also really sorry. I have another call. I'm already getting
No
late, so I'm
worries.
getting calls from
No
there.
worries. No worries. I
Probably
believe
what we
I
can do is, whatever
yes.
important questions are there, mine and Aishwarya's email ID